Hi everyone, welcome to this week's Tech Tip. We're just going to have a quick look at how Microsoft Teams is working in a classroom environment for me. As you can see, I'm in my Year 12 psychology class group and I've got these channels down the side here. So each one of these channels lines up with a different area of study that we've done, and every team automatically has a general channel. Now this is all the students already entered into this channel via the school network, into this team via the school network. So there's no setting up on my behalf, it was literally there ready for me to go. Now each one of these channels is going to have different tabs up the top. Now some of these default, so conversations, files, class notebook and assignments defaults into the first section, but I've certainly added some other tabs here that have suited the needs for my class. So because, for example, I didn't set up my class notebook directly in here, I've just linked in the class OneNote onto the top of this. But first, probably the most important thing is to look at our files section. Now, each channel is going to have their own file section. I chose at the start of this year just to put every file directly in here because I already had it set up, so I just dropped them all in there for ease of access. But I could have chosen to put the relevant files into the necessary channel. So that worked for this environment. It might not work in other environments, but for me, that was a useful and easy way to go about things. So quickly, we'll look at the files. You can see here I've got non-editable resources, so these are things that students can't actually edit. And in here I've got all the resources they're going to need for the course of the year. So as I said, I've broken these down into the different areas of study. I could quite easily have put that into the file section of learning and memory, but when I set this up, I was new to Teams, so I just basically dumped it all in here as a starting point. Students can access these, they can download these, they can't edit these. This is the stuff that I want them to use. If they want to edit it, they can download their own copy, but they can't edit the content that's actually displayed here. So that way I can maintain the integrity of all the files that are directly in here. The assignment section is where I might choose to upload and have students submit their assignments. So we've got some of our checkpoint activities have gone through here, not all of them, but some do. Now we can choose to give them feedback through here, we can give them feedback through other means, but for example, really quickly, I can go into the poster assessment and I can load up a student's work. And I can see here that I've got their work is directly there. It's going to load up within the Teams environment for me. I can provide feedback, I can give them a score, and I can return it all directly through there. We also have our class OneNote linked up here, so I've just linked this directly from our existing OneNote rather than start it within Teams. So this goes straight to our OneNote. Again, I can really quickly just load this and open it in the application, but it's very handy to have it all here in the one spot. Additionally, I've got our class website, so my students can access all the content they need for the whole course directly up there. And we've also got a link to the ePsych VCE page. So all my students can access the content that they need for the whole year. All their general resources live in this general tab. I don't do, in this general channel. I don't do a lot of communicating with students here because I feel like most of the communication is specific to an area of study that we're looking at. So let's just go onto one of these other channels. Let's look at our mental health, the most recent unit that we've done. Okay, so we can see here again we've got our tabs up the top. So conversations, files, the notes section I haven't really used. We have other means of taking notes, but I can present notes there if I want. And then we've got a couple of other things that I've added in for a class. So a really good way is if you're setting up a class and you know that you need students to access a resource. One of the more difficult things about sharing digital resources is giving students the link and all that sort of stuff. Right here we can just click on our plus button over here, and I can then select the resource that I want to go in. So if I want to pick a form, for example, I just click on the forms. It's going to take a moment just to log into my account. I can go add an existing form, and there are all the forms that I've created, and I can quite literally just select one of those forms. So we can go, we've already got this one here, but I'll just click that. I'll go save, and this is going to put a form up the top there for me. All right, I don't need that there because I've already done that, so I can just remove it as quickly as I put it in there, just by clicking remove. But it's really handy for a student to be able to go in, and I will actually just go back into that form, or the other form I had for a second, for a student to be able to go in there, and even though I've linked the form up once, it identifies the user, so it's currently saying, hi Derek, so it knows that I'm currently the user, and any student that went in there, it would be identifying them individually as well. Now, that's a really handy thing. We don't need to have students navigating externally to get the content that they need. And it keeps them all in this one little sort of ecosystem. Now, that avoids distractions. There's no other links. There's no other things that they can go to. They can just basically navigate everything they need directly from this one platform. So additionally, in the past, we tested this. I just wanted to see how it worked. So with Answer Garden, I put up a quick Answer Garden sort of concept map in here. And you'll see that if I add something in there, that will add to my little map that we've got going on here. And that's a really nice way for me to be able to have brainstorming sessions in class. I've done a previous tech tip about Answer Garden, but certainly to be able to go in there and have students access that directly, without needing links, without needing anything, because I've just gone and spent the 20 seconds it took me just to go. And for that particular one, I've just gone plus, I've clicked on website. It's asked me for the link of the website and what I'd like to name the tab, and I did that and put it in there, and obviously students were all then able to access it a whole lot quicker than they could have if I decided I was going to put up a link in OneNote. We'd need to synchronize it, or a link on the whiteboard or something like that would also take a lot extra work to get around. So each one of these is going to have a slightly different set of tabs up the top. So we can see in our consciousness one, I chose to put a recap. Now, this is actually a video that I recorded. So I've recorded a video talking about consciousness and talking about what we learned and what we need to focus on for our assessment. So this video can appear directly for them as well. So again, that's a really nice, easy way for them. Started talking. So that's a really nice, quick, easy way for them to be able to access what they need. Another really powerful thing is in the files section in this area, I put up some collaborative documents for students to work on. So we had these sort of 4 documents I wanted people to work on as a team. So I've basically put the document in there, the students picked which one they worked on, and then as a team they all went and collaboratively edited this. So we can see all the content down there. They could edit it directly in that area, or they could edit it in Word, whichever worked best for them. So that's a brief rundown of how Teams is operating in my classroom environment. It's certainly given me a much better ability to communicate with my classes, and having been in schools where I've used Edmodo or Google Classroom or similar platforms to that, I felt that when I came to Brunswick Secondary College that I was really missing that point of contact with students, where if I remembered something after class that I could go through and put a message up there where I can share my learning intentions with them and all that sort of stuff in advance. I really I missed that, and unfortunately OneNote doesn't really provide us with that. Compass kind of does, but again we sort of got Compass and OneNote working individually, whereas we can see in here that we've got OneNote works really well in conjunction with this platform. So really, really useful stuff, and I look forward to us being able to better communicate and better share resources with our students in the coming future. Thank you very much.